I would not start OpenClaw by asking whether it has an impressive demo. I would start with the first side effect. What can it read, what can it write, what account or runtime does it touch, and what proof does it leave behind when the run is over? That is the practical Doramagic reading of this project. The manual gives a better spine than a launch post because it forces a slower question: where does OpenClaw actually enter a workflow? In this case, the first useful note is, Project Purpose and Scope OpenClaw is a modular AI agent platform shipped as a monorepo of plugins, core packages, and harness integrations. The second note is the boundary. Project Purpose and Scope OpenClaw is a modular AI agent platform shipped as a monorepo of plugins, core packages, and harness integrations. I would keep that sentence visible during setup, because most first-run mistakes happen when you treat a tool surface, an SDK, an extension, or an agent loop as if they all had the same risk profile. My first-run test would be intentionally boring. I would create one disposable workspace, one reversible task, and one output I can inspect without trusting the agent or the UI. If the setup requires credentials, browser state, local files, or a running service, I would use test data first and keep the production account out of the first pass. The manual also points to the failure mode I would watch first. The first failure usually comes from assuming the demo path is the production contract. A clean demo can hide this. The project can appear to work while the real contract is still unclear: which command was run, which file changed, which remote call happened, or which source produced the answer. For verification, I would not accept a success message by itself. The repository is structured around a @OpenClaw/plugin SDK workspace package that every first-party extension depends on, providing a common plugin contract, typebox schemas, and ZOD-based validation, and a shared OpenClaw host peer dependency. In a technical creator workflow, the proof is the command, the trace, the changed file, the generated artifact, or the exact response shape. Anything less is just a story about a run. Here is the concrete first-run checklist I would use for OpenClaw. Step 1. Open the Doramagic manual and the upstream repository side by side. Step 2. Identify the smallest entry point, not the most impressive one. Step 3. Run one task where failure is cheap. Step 4. Save the log or output. Step 5. Decide whether the next run deserves more permissions. I would also cross-check the repository directly at https://github.com/openclaw/openclaw. The manual is the map, but the repository is where version drift, installation details, and real issue patterns show up. If those disagree, I trust the live upstream evidence before I trust a polished summary. My verdict is narrow. OpenClaw is worth exploring only after it passes one small, inspectable workflow. Do not turn it into infrastructure because the category sounds useful. Start with one scenario, keep the boundary tight, keep the evidence visible, and only expand after the first run is genuinely repeatable. For this video, the important thing is not the name OpenClaw. The important thing is the habit: manual first, source second, tiny run third, evidence before trust. That is how I would keep OpenClaw from becoming another tool that looked promising for an hour and then created a maintenance problem for the next month. Scene notes: read the project by its first side effect. Project Purpose and Scope OpenClaw is a modular AI agent platform shipped as a monorepo of plugins, core packages, and harness integrations. Decide what it can touch. Project Purpose and Scope OpenClaw is a modular AI agent platform shipped as a monorepo of plugins, core packages, and harness integrations. Use the manual as the spine. Project Purpose and Scope OpenClaw is a modular AI agent platform shipped as a monorepo of plugins, core packages, and harness integrations. Make the first run deliberately small, /index.ts. And most extensions add a setup entry, channel, or install block describing how the host should load and surface them. Watch the failure that looks like success. The first failure usually comes from assuming the demo path is the production contract. Keep proof on screen. The repository is structured around a @OpenClaw/plugin SDK workspace package that every first-party extension depends on, providing a common Cross-check upstream. I would keep the repository open while testing. https://github.com/openclaw/openclaw. Only expand after one useful pass. For OpenClaw, the decision is not whether the demo looks good. It is whether one narrow workflow produces inspectable, repeatable evidence.